Hey guys, this is gonna be a little bit different of a video today because I've had a lot of stuff going on in my life lately, and honestly the purpose of this entire concept of a YouTube channel was actually supposed to be more of like a stress relieving therapeutic kind of outlet. I haven't really used it as that because I've been kind of figuring things out and I wasn't quite comfortable. Kind of just use like makeup as a bit of a crutch. I do just kind of want to give a little bit of a life update. I have briefly touched on the fact that I work at a brewery, and the update is that I no longer work there and everything's cool, everything's fine, no big deal. I have a background in chemistry and then I moved out west a bit on a whim, got a job at a distillery. My kind of life's goal was then that I wanted to essentially open up a distillery and that I wanted to specialize in whiskeys and things, which is still 100% a goal of mine. It was one of the most amazing things that I'd ever done, and I fell so hard and so deeply in love with it that I don't exactly know how to even explain the passion that goes behind it. The concept of being a master blender, or talking about wood, or how molecular compounds come together and form flavors. I by happenstance fell onto a book called Whiskey Distilled by Heather Green, who she started off as a musician in New York. Her husband got a job in Scotland. She moved out there. She wasn't really into alcohol. She stumbled into being a bartender at the Scotch Malt Whisky Society in Edinburgh, which is where I have previously been offered a job. And that was honestly the reason that I even applied to go out there, was because of this woman, because she inspired me so much. She worked with so many famous Scottish distilleries. She was all over the world. She was teaching things out of New York. I'm not sure if she does other cities or not. I did email her. She's responded, and I can't even explain the amount of screaming I probably did. Took the time to be encouraging. This was a couple of years ago, and I still find her to be one of the most incredible women. You know, out west, it's a bigger market, more opportunity. Definitely doesn't really exist here. Maybe a bit more in Toronto, but however, for here, it's kind of something that will be, but isn't yet. So I'm a little, maybe ahead of the game, and not in like a cool way or anything, but in like a fuck, what do I do with my life kind of way right now while I wait for the rest of the province to kind of catch up. Because in Canada, the liquor laws within different provinces, very, very different. So it is harder in some places, and currently Ontario right now is a hard place to be in the liquor industry. So basically, when I was out west, I got this job offer at the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, and I was going to take it, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna visit home because I haven't been home in a while, and then I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna spend maybe a month, maybe two, you know, making sure I see all my family, which is all of my family are here. So all of my family, all of my friends, and then I'm gonna head off and I'm gonna go to Scotland, and I'm gonna be there for I don't even know how long, who knows. And when I was here, I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, and at the time I did not know this, and I had a cyst about the size of a grapefruit. Have you ever seen a grapefruit? It's big. Can't say that was my favorite. It ruptured, and then I had so much internal bleeding going on that I looked like I was about 6 months pregnant for, I don't know, 4 months. It scared the shit out of me. I had my surgeon tell me that between the women who have given birth and also have happened what happened to me, that this was more painful. I didn't need to know that. Thank you. So it was really scary, and I thought, oh my god, like what if this had happened and I had been over there? What if, like, what would I have done? This was a really, really big factor in me becoming quite depressed. I was not in this progression of moving forward to this new job that I was inhumanly excited for. But I definitely became very, very, very depressed. I felt like I missed out on one of the biggest opportunities of my entire life, and that was so crushing. And I'm one of those people that is like very big. I'm a big personality. I don't know if spirit is like a stupid word, but that's what it felt like. My spirit just be kind of crushed was one of the toughest things that's ever happened to me, and it took me a long time to get out of it. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna get a job at a brewery. I'll gain some knowledge and we'll see what happens. Really, really held on to that, pulling me out of that headspace. I mean, the entire time, I always wanted to kind of be able to dabble within all of the umbrella. Learned a bit about wine. I worked at a distillery and learned about vodka and gin and absinthe, and then I wanted to learn about beer. But I knew the entire time that the goal was still whiskey. There is something about having a bunch of middle-aged older dudes walk into a place and go immediately to the man in the room and start asking them about whiskey, and then that person going, oh no, you want to talk to our whiskey expert, and then them coming over to me and looking at me being like, you know, 23 years old or whatever and going, oh, her, like this young girl, like what does she know? And then just educating them and throwing knowledge at them and not being pretentious or shitty about it, but just showing them I'm young, I'm a girl, and I live for this. This is all I live for. And I've had people come back and bring me a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. Very expensive bottle. This is amazing. Do you want to do a tasting together? And they're like, no, this is for you. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not trying to sound cool or anything. These things would happen to me often. I had people who worked at distilleries or owned distilleries or whatever be like, come and visit. Whiskey societies, be like, come and do a lecture, come and do this. I had friends who lived in Vancouver at the time who were very, very involved in the industry. They do this kind of, I think it's like about 3 days. Anybody within the industry, if you own a brewery, if you work at a brewery, if you're a bartender, if you just like drinks, like whatever, but if you are in the industry somehow, you can come and you can partake in a bunch of these things. And then they also would offer like lectures and stuff like that, which was my entire life. My entire life was teaching, which is another part of what I did when I was out west. I started a consulting company, which is Whiskey Mean Consulting, and making alcohol. And I've never thought anything in the entire world was cooler. Not having that anymore was really, really, really hard. And like I said, so I worked at the brewery. It helped. I would definitely say that I'm one of those people who needs to feel like they're progressing. And so I no longer work there. And, you know, Matt came home and he was just like, you are so much brighter looking. And I was like, I can do anything. And he was like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? He and I had been planning on potentially moving out west, not for a little while, but nonetheless, and an opportunity has come up that might be about moving out there. This place out west is working towards opening some new things. I might have a distilling job there, and it would be beautiful. However, the other thing is that something has happened here that I just really, really can't actually talk about because it's so many variables, but I have had meetings and it's literally the dream, I would say. And if it doesn't happen, I think I will cry myself to sleep. I'm kind of just like bursting. Now I want to talk about it so badly, but I also don't want to talk about it and one, blow it, but also if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be like, oh God, everything sucks. Just know that I have such a good feeling that so many good things are about to happen, and I'm just like, mm. And then on a completely different perspective here, the other thing is that I did apply to school. I was kind of set on maybe doing business. I know many, many business owners that did not go to school for it. You know, they use the resources that are provided by the government. I'm not dead set on going back to school by any means whatsoever. And then also the wonderful, beautiful girl Ash, who does my eyebrows, who microbleeds my eyebrows, she offered that in the fall I could potentially learn how to also do it with her. There is so many things that could and hopefully more than anything will be happening, and to really, really connect with something. I forgot what this felt like. Oh, I'm kind of overwhelmed by it. It's just like the paperwork of it all, really, that hopefully will make it a thing, and then maybe I can talk about it. I don't know, maybe I need like a vacation. He was like, yeah, absolutely. Take a week, take 3 weeks, take, I don't know, take all the time that you want. Yeah, so now I'm thinking, okay, well, I haven't had a vacation or time to myself, or all of these like just weights piling and piling and piling on me, making me this neurotic human being. Miserable. Like honestly, Matt, for those of you who know Matt, for those of you who don't, he's my boyfriend. He is a saint. You know, in any movie of anything where you see a dragon and it's being woken up and it's not stoked and it kind of loses its shit, I really, really don't like the person that I have been, and I just want more than anything to be really, really proud of myself, and I haven't felt proud of myself. It just feels so nice. I think I'm gonna go on vacation, pretty much just gonna wait for this next meeting next week, and then I think I'm gonna take off and I'm gonna go on vacation for maybe, I don't know, anywhere from like a week to 3 weeks. It'll kind of just depend. I'm really, really leaning towards Southeast Asia, like Vietnam or Thailand or Cambodia or, I don't know, Bali. I'm hoping that that'll happen. The other thing is that like when I was probably like 3 or so, an adult, I think it was like a friend of my mom's or something, but I don't really remember, told me the story of Iceland and like how Iceland became Iceland and Greenland was Greenland and the Vikings and how there's horses and the terrain is like the moon. I like the moon. Wanted to go there since I was 3 years old. I am a certified scuba diver. I started that process when I was 17. Actually, you know what? No, the first day that we were supposed to go, we're pushing the boat into the water, and I'm probably to my lower to mid calf, and I had seen something floating in the water, and I thought that it was like a plastic bag or something, and realized as it was stinging me that it was a jellyfish, and it's attached to my ankle. It started off like, oh, what's that? Oh, I don't like, oh god, that's burning. And so I'm backing out of the water and trying to get it off, and I'm kicking. Kind of flung my leg into the air, and it wrapped all the way up my leg. And honestly, I don't even remember how it came off, or if I ripped it off, or if somebody else ripped it off, or what even happened, because I was just, because all I could think was, I can't keep touching it because it's gonna hurt me. It was really, really stressful, and I was okay. And then the next day we went on the actual trip, and we weren't very deep, like maybe 20 feet, I don't know, maybe a little bit deeper than that. And I'm on the ocean floor, and I'm looking up at the boat, and the guy who was still on the boat, he had a piece of banana, and he dropped it into the water. And while I was down there before, I'm looking around, I have like an underwater camera, and there's fish like everywhere, beautiful like tropical fish, and he drops the banana in the water, and all of a sudden, like, they just poof, and they created this massive just tornado 10-15 feet away from this happening. And I'm just like, and took a photo that I don't even know where it is anymore, because we printed it. It was one of those things where you print a photo. Hopefully nobody's gonna tell me that we poisoned a fish or anything. I've always wanted to do wreck diving or something, so I know that there are places in like Malta, which is supposed to be this beautiful country, that just like get really day drunk on a beach and kayak to little islands. I'm really, really glad for this outlet and what it provides for me, and hopefully what I can provide for it. I do really like the makeup aspect of things, because as you guys have seen, I am handsy when I talk. Maybe you guys can kind of follow me on the journey, and if everything is working out, get some of you excited for what's happening in my life, because if all of this works out, it's gonna be so cool. So I'm excited, and I hope that you're excited for me. I don't even know what else to say. Let me know if you have any cool vacation things, if you've been to Southeast Asia anywhere, and you want to strongly recommend something. Keep your fingers crossed for me, and I guess I will just talk to you guys later. Bye. These are my end credits. Yes, my hair does naturally get curly. This is a little bit assisted. I get people who ask me all the time how I deal with my curls. When I'm out of the shower, I take mousse, I put it into my hair, I scrunch it, I attach a diffuser to my hairdryer, and I use that, and I just... If you have curly hair, you know that sometimes it'll get wild, so you gotta kind of tame a few of them. I'll just take a thin curling wand and just kind of fix it. That's all I do. If anybody wants me to do like a curly whatever hair tutorial or something, or advice, or what products I use or whatever, just shoot me a message, let me know, and I'll let you know. Yeah, anyway, okay, bye.